Check. Recon, 132 fighters now.
Now Gordon on first down. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Second and 5. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. He's at the 40. The 20. 10. 5. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Big boy earning his lunch. That's what you call rumbling with the ball, Charles.
Big man with football. He wasn't just earning lunch, Brandon. He was earning dinner. He was
midnight snack.
Everything that you could possibly do, he did it on that play to pick up the ball and go.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. They're right back out there after watching the fumble go the other way. Still in control of this game, but that needs to serve as a wake-up call because they're not in the clear yet.
No, the message should be clear that fortunes can change pretty quickly when you turn the ball over. You've got to take care of it, otherwise that lead could slip away quickly. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Go. Go out. Watch the curl.
Off play action. Clifford. He sets to fire deep. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
On 1st and 10, Clifford flushed out right. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Hard. Check hot route. Hot. Hey, Wahoo. 56.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley. That is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. The Colts on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16.
56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56. Yep. Mike 56.
From the gun, Herbert. He's going to float this one deep right side. And got his man complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are back within a single score. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch, take it to the house. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. They've seen their 21-0 advantage cut to just 7, so time to go back to work here, 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to look deep for Watkins, and almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get him into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
60 Pittsburgh.
On 3rd down, Fournette. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. Fourth down, and on is Ty Long to punt. And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. The deception there pays off to perfection. 14 yards on the fake punt and a 1st down. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move, but oftentimes it's a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands, he's able to pick up the 1st down.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And the Chargers 1st down.
Ready, 30 base. Mike, 58, right there. Danny.
Off the play fake. Clifford nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Five.
Back to throw. Clifford complete. Hunter Henry with the grab. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts' 15-yard line.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Hey, stand up.
Looking to throw on second down. Clifford. Buying time to his left. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward. Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
2nd and 9 now. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the first down right near the 24. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Herbert. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
They go quickly here out to Moore. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1.
60 outlaw. Hey, Delta. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Mike's 56. Mike's 56. Let's make these babies cry. Hey. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Now.
From the gun on 3rd down, Herbert. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
90 Wolf. General West. Hey, lock it. Check 3.
On first down, Herbert. It's caught. Lockett. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Right there.
He's forced out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Herbert. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd.
Here we go.
Operating from the gun. Herbert. Forced out to his left, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Takk McKinley, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. Ready?
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Go out. Hey, check 24. Check 24. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up.
Ready. They'll keep it on the ground. Jefferson. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And down to the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 35.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And his first carry, he loses the football. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
No. Alert 3. 25. Check 25. Check 25. Check 24. Hey. Motion. 56 to Mike.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
On second down now, Jefferson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway, because that's your strength.
An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd.
Hey, team 6.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that, because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
I smell fear in that offense.
From the gun, Herbert eluding the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The kick by Carlson is good, and that'll bring them back within 4. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Let's go!
At their own 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Now Leonard Fournette. And he'll be taken down at the 18. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Here we go, here we go. 18 Gator. Go.
Go now. Mike 96, Mike 96. It's our field. It's our field.
Get it.
Throwing on third and long. Clifford, he's going to let this one go deep. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Let's go.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
Let's go. 10-2 stop.
To the end, boy. To the
Bam, bam.
That's what I do.
Check 26, check 26.
Let's go.
To throw on second down. Clifford. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there.
Rock it. Hey, rock it. Clear.
Throwing on third and long. Clifford going for the deep ball. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Check three, check three, check three.
Under guard, guard.
Watch the ship, watch the ship. Hey, hey, watch the ship, watch the ship. He's crashing. He's checking crash. Big Ed.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 38-yard line.
Pilot, 64, weak, 9.
Looking to throw. Herbert, and he fires one incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Check.
Hey, Foxtrot. Hit it.
On 3rd down, Herbert. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
This is taken at about the 14. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make...
And this is caught at the 20. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. A big play there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful.
17. Michael Badgley to kick off for the Chargers.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches.
Check. Lucky. 36. Kill. Watch the edge. Switch.
Get it.
They'll keep it on the ground. Jefferson. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Switch.
Operating from the gun, Herbert. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up fourth down. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on fourth down, and they're going to go for it. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Aguilar has it. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the fourth quarter. 2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Herbert. It's caught by Aguilar. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Hard. Hey, Alpha. Ready.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Open man is Higgins. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Look, squeeze.
Shit. Alert flare.
Let's go.
Going to give this time to the tailback. Tackled there by Monte Nicholson.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Let's get it.
Your weapon.
Check safety.
They'll keep it on the ground. Jefferson, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
3rd and 7.
On the set.
41's the mic.
Hey, Sam on.
Let's go.
And fight.
From the gun, Herbert. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. 20. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Badgley on for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points.
Makes the score Chargers 42, Colts 17. Mike Badgley to kick off for the Chargers.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
I don't think all you say to your guy is, listen, Let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
They'll keep it on the ground. Jefferson. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on third down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
To throw on third down, Herbert. This complete to Lockett. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for fourth down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10.
Check 31, check 31. Watch the safety creep. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Credit the tackle that time to Deshaun Hand.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they were hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On third down, Jefferson. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Right back to him on first down. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On second down, Jefferson. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on third down. Off play action. Herbert nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well-timed effort there by Derwin James, a sack from his safety position.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Championships, baby. Slam, slam, slam. Check 3, check 3, check 3.
Go on, go on. Fire.
On fourth down, Herbert, left side complete to Lockett. Tyler Lockett, and he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Tyler Lockett, his second touchdown on the season, and the Colts are able to cut into this lead.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Looking to throw. Clifford, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Checking the NFL scoreboard, they're in the 4th now in Minneapolis. And not much trouble in that game for the Vikings. They've opened their lead further. If they hold on, it would be win number 10 for them on the year. Throwing on 1st down. Herbert. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Back to throw. Herbert. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Herbert. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. This offense already 4 for 4 on 4th down conversions. They're going to try it again here on this 4th down. Back to throw. Herbert. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 4th down, no problem. 19 yards that time, but now it's 1st and 10. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys